Welcome in, everyone, to episode 11 of the Challenge After Show. It was called an inconvenient goof.
Yeah,
I wonder what that's going to be about.
Wait, I can. Oh, there he is.
Yay!
I can hear him coming back in.
Yeah.
Did you girls hear anything?
You were frozen for like 45 seconds.
Oh my
God.
God.
We have no idea. You were frozen.
You froze.
That's why you're looking at us like we have 5 heads, but we have no fucking idea what just happened.
Oh my God. Episode 11.
And he's frozen again. And he's probably just talking.
Or he's just really good at faking us out. What if he was just like...
Ladies, I'm really concerned about my internet connection right now because you girls will keep freezing, and it's going to be very interesting tonight, that's for sure. Yeah.
What should we do? Like, is there another option?
No, we just have to pray because usually it's okay. Usually it's not that bad, but this is getting a little interesting so far. But it looks like we're pulling through. We're pulling through right now. Episode 11, an inconvenient goof. I wonder who that's about, ladies. I wonder. A goof.
Well, it didn't sound like I thought. I know, but I thought I'm really upset about this episode, but except for maybe not.
Well, yeah.
Wait, are we live now?
No.
Yes, ladies.
Right?
Ladies, we're recording all of this. Yeah, this would be fair. The people are going to.
Should we start over?
I'm not starting over.
All right.
We're keeping all this. This is beautiful.
All right, fine. Beautiful, beautiful. Pam, I'm really excited to hear you talk about this episode because it felt like it defies all the shut up Josh moments. It was just everything Josh all episode. Him and Devin was hilarious. Big T and CT are my favorite partnership and couple forever. But in second place is now Gavin and Debbie.
Hey,
so hysterical.
Jenna, I have a not a conspiracy so much as a hot take. I think when CT wins, he ain't picking Big T again. And so maybe they aren't the best couple. Because why would he, Jenna? He's going to destroy Devin. I don't care what this is next. He's going to beat Devin. Let's be honest. He's not going to Big T again. There's no way, right?
So I agreed with you early on a few weeks ago. Remember when Big T said something like, oh, we're going to be in this together forever. And then CT made that promise to her. I had the same exact thought as you, Dan. I said, no way that CT is sticking to that. He's going to flock as soon as he can. But now I think it's different. Now I think that their relationship has grown. I think that Big T did awesome. She absolutely has weaknesses. But at this point, how many more weeks do they have together? No one is going to try to go against CT in the crater individually. So CT, once he gets his skull, I think he's good. It almost doesn't even matter who he's partners with. So at this point, I feel like, why would he switch? I don't know. I hope he doesn't because I love them.
Maybe he's worried about running a final. Say Big T somehow gets a gold skull. Maybe he's worried about having to run a final with her. Or maybe he just wants to be with someone that already had a girl that already has a gold skull that he knows is a strong competitor that he might have to be suited up with in a final. That's my thought about that. But yeah.
I don't think so.
Or if he's with a woman with a skull, then
they'll be scared to go after her, like Cam. Maybe they'll be scared to go after Cam. So then he's guaranteed in the final with Cam. That could be good, right?
Kind of. I think it would be a bad look for him. And also Big T's never disappointed. She's been a good competitor, and because of their complementary strengths and weaknesses, I think they work well as a team. And she's not bad. Like, she did better than him tonight. It's like at this point we have to stop counting Big T as like a layup. She's not. She does well. She's not bad because she's not giant.
Dan was onto something though, because she doesn't have her skull. So that means that she can still go into the crater. She still has to fight for one. So if CT is attached to her, that makes him vulnerable for a possible double elimination or a possible surprise. So if they think it's a girl's day, but they don't know for sure,
And you guys are acting like, unless I missed it because I don't watch previews, like that's in the bag that it's CT versus Devin. Didn't we end on like, woo, what's gonna happen?
CT's gonna look. It's not a strength one. They're giving Devin a chance here. The producers knew Devin was going in. They knew CT was gonna go against them. They wanted it to be a good fight. They did not make it a brutal man. They didn't make it a hall brawl on purpose. The producers are trying to get something interesting happening here. I just always am going to give the edge to CT until he's dethroned by a Devin who, Devin already beat Bananas in West. I get it, but he's never beat a CT.
But what do you think's up with the like something's? It's not just going to be a normal.
You mean the security breach?
Yes.
Maybe, ladies, maybe that's Alan trying to come back and get at Josh. Who knows? I don't know. Did you?
Yes.
Well, Lolo's gone.
You called us out, Jenna, for not knowing it was Alan.
I
Alan.
appreciate that comment because we just seem like even more Caucasian now that we said freaking Alan of all names.
In our defense, it is spelled Alan. It's not like a lot. Like it is very hard, having no idea who he is because he didn't make it even to a first round.
Right.
To remember Alan, who was not American, and we didn't know. I forgive us. Like
I know, I do too. It's just funny. We're over here like Walter over here. Richard didn't make the challenge.
Like,
gee whiz, whoa Nelly. No, Pam, you are so right. The security breach. And I was thinking, it's the way that the elimination is set up is that it's clearly going to be still 1 versus 1. It's not like a free for all, everyone fight to the death, Hunger Games style in the crater for a skull. But I just really hope that they do not screw CT because they screwed him 4 weeks ago when it came down to the challenge where it was him versus Nam in the middle of the mud in the ring. Him versus Kyle. But CT had to go toe to toe with Cam round after round. And so CT cut a deal, had to give up, couldn't compete. And that was going to be his day to win and go get his gold skull. So I'm just sitting there thinking, don't do it to our guy again.
Yeah, I think CT is gonna be, he's gonna win. It might be close, but I have a big feeling he's gonna win and he's gonna come back and he's not gonna be with Big T, and that's the drama I like to see. So I'm very excited about that. Ladies, I don't think it's gonna be what you think. I do not think it's gonna be CT versus Devin, and I think I stand by Josh as a bonehead so hard that I feel like security breach is like Josh voted for himself or something. Like something happened where it's going to become. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be like not to screw CT, but I think it's going to be like, sorry, Josh and Nani, you guys actually, since Lolo's gone and she did this, it's like it's actually Devin and Gabby versus Josh and Nani. I don't know. I don't see when Ashley came back, ladies, this season. Was that a security breach or was that she just showed up? Do you remember? I don't remember.
I'm not sure what terminology.
If that was a security breach, then that means that maybe someone else is coming into the game. Because if you think about it, we lost 2 girls. So maybe I bet a girl comes back to be with one of the guys. I think that's all it is. They're hyping it for no reason. They're going to have one girl come back like an Ashley did. She's going to go with Nam or Corey. Maybe she gets to choose one of them. And then the winner here gets to be with the other person, whatever. But I think it's just another person coming back.
I think that's a good prediction because it's usually less than we imagine. It's usually not unexpected. It's usually not crazy anymore. They just hype it up to be exactly like what you said. So that's a fair prediction.
Who was the last female eliminated?
It was Amber M.
Amber M last week.
What if
Amber? Oh God, no!
She's gonna come back like the Coven season of AHS. Surprise, bitches! You probably thought you saw the last of me, and she will come back like that too.
No,
it's Amber M.
Oh,
Amber M.
What a waste if she comes back.
I hope so.
Ladies, we have some great, these are all amazing predictions. I'm really pumped. I think please tell us in the comment section below if you believe any of these predictions or if you have your own, because we love to hear it.
Yeah.
Ladies, when did blindsiding become so frowned upon in the challenge? Why is everyone's they blindsided me? When did it happen? A couple years ago? Because when the challenge first started, no one gave a crap if you got blindsided. You just went in and you did your crap and you either stayed or you went home. I'm so confused by it.
Damn, that is so funny because I was going to bring up that point tonight where blindsiding, I understand that it gives you the ammo to now dislike somebody and now have somebody that you can work against and throw under the bus. I get that. I get that you might feel some type of way. You know, it's a natural reaction. However, this is a game of competition. Letting somebody know that you're going to vote them in is nice, but it's not necessary and it's undeserved. I mean, you don't need to do it. So the fact that everybody latches onto it as an excuse week after week, it's like, what did you think you were doing? Like, it benefits their game. Can't you see that? You can't complain every time somebody throws you in and just chalk it up as a blindside. They're not always going to come to you with flowers and a letter saying like, I'm so sorry, I'm voting you in.
Yeah.
Agree. If your best friends are like in an alliance and you're gonna betray them, maybe you want to give them a heads up or it's a blindside. But otherwise, to be like, you didn't tell me you're coming after me. It's like, right, here I am coming after you. This is how I'm telling you. You know, like, yeah, I agree with you.
My whole thing, it's like, it's not that she was blindsided to go against Cam. She was blindsided to go against Amber M. Good. What a great.
Lucky you. Right. You were
Lucky.
blindsided to go get your gold skull when she should have done it.
Yeah, and I think that Gabby is catching on, and I think a lot of people are catching on to the fact that Amber B is using that as a way to try to get people to dislike Gabby. And if you can use that to your game, sure, fabricate it. But I think that's really all she's doing because she got her gold skull. She needed one. At this point in the game, it's almost like she threw me a bone by putting me in and putting me in against Amber Ebb. You know, you shouldn't really be complaining. But since they already have this animosity, Amber B can now kind of spin it to say like, well, Gabby blindsided me. Wah. Now everybody will maybe try to empathize with Amber B instead, but it's a little too much.
Why don't you write Gabby a thank you note? Okay, Amber? Yeah. So that's what she should be doing.
Pam, I want to get into talking about Josh. Josh and Nany talk at the beginning of this episode, and apparently Nany's saying that Josh is being a little creepy, but it comes off to me that I think Josh maybe has a little crush on Nany. That's how I read it, but I feel like you didn't think that at all. Whatever, but I'd love to hear Pam. I know you want to go off, so go ahead, Pam.
Let me go back to Amanda and Josh, Georgia and Josh, Nany and Josh and every female. Josh is creepy. He does the like, we're like best friends and I'm like your brother. But then like, let me give you a massage, and he'd start to go down too far. Like Josh is creepy. Josh is the guy that says I'm your good friend and then like uses it as an excuse to touch you. And Nany's good enough friends with him to call him out on it. She's like, you're being creepy. This isn't cute. You're being creepy. And I do think he was being creepy, and I think he's creepy with every girl he's ever friends with. I think he plays that sweet I'm your friend card, but he likes the girls, you know.
Right,
it's like,
okay, so you agree there, because I think that he was definitely acting creepy tonight, but I also think that given the chance, he would date Nany in a heartbeat.
Of course he would. Yes, of course he would. And that's why he's of course. Yes, he plays the like, I'm not going to actually put myself out there. So I'm going to act like, no, we're totally like friends. We're brothers and sisters. But like
the Jamie Lannister, Cersei kind of brother and sister.
Exactly. Game of Thrones kind of sibling.
Like, if you want to do it like that and be royalty, Nany, then we can.
I just Nany was hilarious. Because she was like not having it.
She friend zoned him completely.
And she was like, what are you gonna do? Tell me you're in love with me now? Like, come on. Like, she wasn't even having it. Like, Josh defenders will say, Josh is a sensitive soul and he loves Nany. And what's wrong with that? And it's like, because he doesn't, he's creepy. And she's like, oh, what do you love me now? Like, no, you're being creepy. And like, back off.
Yeah, like you couldn't possibly love me. He has a hard time understanding the lines. Like, just because somebody's your friend doesn't mean now you're going to take it to that level. If you're not getting that from her, what makes you think that you should now try to go that route?
Exactly.
Did you ladies appreciate Devin's honesty at the beginning of this episode? Because I did. I thought it was great.
Wait, was Devin honest? When is he ever honest?
About what?
Back it up.
He said that he can't shut up and that he's also annoying.
Yes.
All right. Well. Okay.
Now, from that transition, I want to go over into the daily challenge where Josh and Devin, who we just talked about, both had issues with that rope. Now, I noticed that if you didn't grab the rope quick enough, the wind from the boat and from the helicopter thing, it pushed the ropes out to the side, and they both had that same issue. No one else did though, but it was just interesting that karma got him, and it was great. But yeah, anyway.
Right, Dan. Nobody else did. Nobody else did.
I know, but
it was just the perfect situation.
But you noticed why it happened though, because the wind for some reason just pushed it way out. They just didn't grab it quick enough.
Is that what happened with Josh and Nany? It was the wind?
It happened with Josh. The wind took his out. Yeah. I thought Nani was going to get really hurt there, ladies. Oh my God, I was nervous about her.
Yeah.
The way that she fell off the side of the boat, it was crazy.
You're being nice and forgiving with the win then, because nobody else mentioned it. That wasn't one of Josh's or Devin's excuses when they came back. But to Devin, to me, it looked like he didn't even really do anything. He like barely stuck out his arm. He didn't try to jump. He didn't even really go for it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
If I didn't know better, if Devin wasn't in a different position, I would have said he threw it. Like it was like, oh no, the rope. Yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, well, if you watch it again, I think it was the win, but that's me. That's me. So
could have been. It couldn't have worked out more perfect though. That Devin was talking all of that shit, which was funny. Granted, it was funny. I appreciated it because Josh looked like a bozo out there. But when Devin went to do it, you have to feel like the world's biggest jackass. At that point, you do the same exact thing the guy you were just making fun of did. And it's you and Josh, which are that you're perceived as the two weakest anyway. And now you're really living up to that.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because at least if you're Devin and you're smart and you've got that, it's like, okay, I'm the IT guy, I'm in the van. If you're Josh and you look like Josh, what do you got if you're not good at things that are physical?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You know, a lot went into the challenge. I thought it would have been really fun to do. Watching it, I was kind of hoping for some more falls and stuff like that. But like, I don't think the time started, ladies, until they actually hit the water. So basically, as long as you didn't mess up the rope part, the helicopter is going to take everyone at the same speed. There's no point in starting to time that. So basically, it was literally the game was a 50-yard swim. That's it. They just had to swim to a dock. So that's all the game was.
After holding on to a flying rope.
Correct. But, like, but the timing didn't include that, I don't think. I think it was just the swim. So as long as you could hold on, I mean, you're all set.
Well, I think what CT and Big T did the best is they held on to the rope the longest. Everybody else dropped off too early.
They took a chance and they got to the edge of the drop zone versus landing in the middle of the drop zone. You're exactly right. That's how they work.
Mm-hmm. And Big T did so good. I was so proud of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I think the best thing about this challenge was the Josh and Devin situation. As stupid as it seems, without it, what would this challenge have been? Like, that was just the perfect thing to happen.
You would have got the Anissa situation, Jenna.
Oh, yeah. I just love Anissa so much, though. She just knows herself. She's like, well, yeah, that's me. I'm just gonna slip right on off that rope. I mean, what are you gonna do about it?
Wasn't gonna happen for her. That was it.
Yeah. Lola was so interesting, man, because she was working so hard. She always just has like a flustered mannerism about her. Like when she's backstroking, she's just making these noises where I don't know. It's so
I've
weird.
realized something, Jenna, about Lolo. She's really good at the hurdle thing, whatever she does with the hurdle. She's really good at bobsledding. I'm not sure she's ever really done any other type of sports. And I know this isn't a sport, but I'm wondering how athletic she is in other aspects, whether it be swimming. She said she could barely hold on to the rope. She was struggling to have her upper body strength. And as a hurdler, I think you just maybe need strong legs. I'm not even sure how that works, but I'm not sure how good she is at other random things like other sports. Like, I don't know if she's good at a basketball or soccer. So I'm wondering overall if she just really has a niche talent. And this is why she struggles so hard in the challenge. But that's just
I think that is it. She's used to being on a bigger stage and being the star of that stage. So this has obviously just thrown her through such a mental loop. But she was keeping pace with Nam. It wasn't that she was a bad swimmer. She was doing really well. It just was her way about it. For somebody who preaches out about being able to be so locked into her competition, be so composed, nothing else matters. The noise doesn't matter. The inconveniences doesn't matter. She immediately starts complaining about her shoe falling off. The entire backstroke to the platform, she's making these like wincing noises, which I don't doubt that she was in pain. It just, I don't know, it was interesting to me for somebody who trains in such high pressure environments and is used to that sort of competition, that she always has this like lack of composure. Like she always just seems so on edge. But in competition, at least, like we've talked about her mental issues that I feel bad about, but I don't know, it was weird tonight.
Yeah, well, if she's such a strong competitor, ladies, I'm shocked that she left the show. Like, what is that? Like, I don't I'm sorry, but like you're an Olympian. Like this is what you do. You should be just competing, no matter what. You should at least finish the job, even if you lose. Like, what was that? I couldn't. I was really discouraged to see her do that. I was very upset. I was like,
I
this is not.
do have, if we can, and interrupt with news and gossip because it's on this topic.
Ooh.
So I don't know. This is not necessarily super confirmed, but I got from a reliable source. MTVT said that it was sort of like production became very concerned about Lolo, and that she was having breakdown after breakdown after breakdown to like a not necessarily normal, and that they was sort of convinced her that she wanted to, like, that it wasn't entirely her choice, that basically she was, it was like, if your heart's not in the game, I mean, I don't know exactly what was said, but that she was shepherded out, that they didn't think she could really handle being there anymore.
Well, and if it is a mental issue, then it is a mental issue. I just, yeah.
And I
That's
think
really
it's good for
interesting.
her.
Pam, what do you think about them pushing her to leave?
I think when I heard that, I felt like, well, it's been clear that she's sort of unraveling, and for her and who she is, it makes sense to let it be her idea, because it made sense. I feel like she went out with her fine, and I'm not saying production kicked her out and dragged her out and said you're mental, you have to go, but it was like, if you don't see this working out for you type of thing. And I think that she came to it on her own, and I actually don't feel like she's a quitter. I feel like she was falling apart, and it was the right move for her to take herself out of that situation.
Yeah. I'm kind of for it too, because she obviously was having such a breakdown. This was not healthy for her at all. It was, a war was in her mind. This was eating her up, But with that being said, this just speaks to the fact that she does really need to either go to therapy or help find something to work on herself, because she even finds a way to leave in an arrogant manner where you can see that she's emotional and she's struggling mentally, but she finds a way to work in like, well, you guys don't want to see me in a final anyway. And I'm going to go train for the Olympics and I'm going to get a gold medal, which again, I empathize with her, but it is like, girl, you gotta.
We'll give you that, Lolo. It's like, if you need that, right? Like psychologically, it's like, that's what she's got. And I think she should work on, again, we need to, that's where the space in which she's confident is, I'm good at this. I'm good at this. So I thought it was shade that they were playing control. Now I've got, during her whole monologue, like her major production shade, but it's like, that is where she's in control when she's in those specific things. And she does not like to be out of control, but her space of control is very limited. So
it's very interesting though, because she might be able to get a gold medal, but she wasn't able to get her gold skull. So sorry.
No.
Sorry, Lolo.
And there's different elements. You're not going to have a gang of rookies preventing you from getting your gold medal. You are going to have, it's a different game. It's like, she's a jaguar, but she's like playing squirrel and fox games. And, they might not be good, but
I've never seen her happier than when she was making the announcement that she was leaving. This entire season, she has looked so sad and stressed and upset. She's never looked more confident and happy than when she was saying, everybody, I'm leaving.
She was ready to go. So CT and Big T, they win the thing. They do great. Apparently Big T is a pole dancer, so she's good at holding on to things. She took swim class and she didn't tell anybody. She was great. She's very quick in the water. It was fantastic to see her do all that. And CT wants the goof. And the rest of the house wants Devin. So we basically know it's probably gonna be down to one of those two. And we find out that Darrell, they figured all the math out, and Darrell is that 9th vote. He is gonna be the unequalizer and make it uneven. So I guess he chooses a side. He chooses the big brother side. We get into deliberation. I love what Devin said. He's like, if I go in against CT, I ain't coming back. But if Josh goes in against CT, you got something on your hands there. And if Josh comes back and you eliminate CT, I love that. I thought it was very, very smart move by Devin saying that.
And also to credit Josh, I think Josh's rebuttal was good too. Yeah. If Devin leaves, then that's a less of a number in that group's alliance, and Josh has a lot of numbers by his side.
Yeah, I agree that was a well-made point. Like, I think for the guys, Devin's layup speech was good, except for if you're on the other side. I'm sorry, it's like I'm a broken record, but I think Josh is as much of a layup, and he's not good at, and Devin's a layup because he's physically, and he's good at something else. Like, I think Josh is not good physically or smarts wise. So
I was thinking,
I think for them, it's in their best interest too to keep Josh around.
If the elimination was a headbanger, though, I think Josh would fare a little better than a Devin. And I think that's what Devin was trying to get across.
Absolutely. But in that instance, and then maybe not, again, lest we remember he lost to a one-armed guy in tug of war, one-handed man in tug of war.
Very true.
So
yeah, and I find it interesting that this CT and Darrell issue is coming up this episode, because I feel like they should have been working together since day one, and I don't know why it's taken them so long to realize it and talk about it, and they still aren't. And at this point, if they weren't working together since day one, I don't really see why Darrell feels like now all of a sudden he has to. But it should have been something that they walked in together as the biggest veterans and probably the strongest competitors in the game. Why wouldn't they have been trying to help each other out? So I don't know why it's coming up now.
I wrote it down, Jenna. I said typical CT waiting until the last second to try to get Darrell on his side, because he always sits on the fence most of these, most of the challenges. So
and CT said that that's what Darrell does, that he always, plays his cards close to the vest, and then when it's time to go, he gets in a challenge and wins. So both of them, this seems typical, but in terms of Darrell, it seems like they were always sort of, because of Amber B, playing on that Big Brother alliance. I mean, I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
Okay.
I don't think Darrell made a bad move. The numbers are on Big Brother's side anyways. So if you put in two non-Big Brother people, one of them's guaranteed to go home, and then Big Brother's got more numbers, and you got Amber B, who already has a skull. You want to
right. And if CC and his squad wasn't trying to make an alliance with you before, and now they realize they need you because you're that one in between number, you don't necessarily owe it to them to now all of a sudden jump to their side just because you've known CT for a long time and you're veterans. But I wish that they would have. But yeah, it seems like Darrell's kind of, it's not a bad move to go with the Big Brother alliance.
It's late in the game. It's a numbers game. And if Darrell wants a chance at a gold skull and he doesn't win a daily challenge, he's going to need those numbers to vote his ass in there, because he's going to be at Deliberation next 1 or 2 weeks. You're going to have Darrell saying, I need to go in. Big Brother people, I hook you up. Now hook me up and get me in there to give me a chance. Guaranteed.
Right.
Yeah.
It is tough for him. You're right.
I'm not happy about it, but I felt if I were Darrell, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I wonder if production asked or directed Anissa to pose the question to Darrell and put him on the spot during Deliberation, because I was like, everyone is playing their individual game. Why the hell are you coming at Darrell right now? He doesn't owe an explanation to anybody, nor does anybody during Deliberation at any time.
But everyone knew he was the tiebreaker.
Like conspiracy, Jenna. It sounds like you're throwing a conspiracy out there. And Jenna, you're exactly right. You don't think that these producers are like, have him on the arm around their, on their shoulder, saying, hey, when you go in there, just ask, Denise, ask Darrell something real quick. Just ask him this. Of course they're doing that. They're picking out individual people to say certain things.
Yeah.
And if they say it, they say it. If not, they don't. But they want to keep the storyline going. It's obvious. Yeah.
Because Anissa also does not intrude on other people's business. She is not one to call you out unless you're against her. She's not going to make somebody speak out of their comfort zone just for no reason.
Hey, Anissa, you want that challenge podcast? We're going to need you to, say some stuff to Deliberation. But we're going to hook you up with another paycheck to do this challenge podcast with Tori. So there you go. Okay, well, let's get in. So Devin is going to go down there.
Wait, Josh crying of happiness. Josh cries of happiness.
Oh, I'm sorry. We get, an hour and 50 minutes into the episode, we get our Josh moment crying of the night. And yes, I wrote that down. So sorry. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The drama. We have to be just as dramatic. The drama.
Yeah.
Man, that kid, he has feelings. He feels deeply.
That happened after the elimination, though. Or no, I'm sorry. That happened. Oh yeah, we didn't even get an elimination.
Well, it was tears of joy.
Tears of joy.
And ironically, it's funny because people, are like, oh, everyone hates Josh because he's emotional. That's actually probably my favorite quality about him. I don't mind his being emotional. I think it's sweet that he's in touch with his emotions, that he was like at this point in the game and being loyal. That actually bothered me the least of like any Josh moments of the night. It's pretty much everything else about him. His emotions, that's like a sweet part of him. Like, that's fine. I'm sure that's fine. But yeah.
It's just that his emotions often lead him to taking himself too seriously or thinking that he's better than he is. Like, after he completely botches the challenge today, he's like, Nani, we were going to win that. We were going to win that. It's like, you weren't even close to getting the rope. That was step 1 of 3 steps of the challenge. But you went from, oh, we're going to win this, to not even being able to touch the rope that you needed to.
Almost screwed her. I was trying to just hold and then he's like, and then I grabbed her rope to make sure she'd get on it. It's like, it's like, yeah.
Our hero.
What's crazy is, Josh might be, even if Devin gets sent home, Josh might be safe still because of his alliance. It might be Kyle going in next for Gold Skull people to have to defend.
Oh, because you're right.
Kyle's probably the next weakest. No one wants to go against Fessy. No one really wants to go against Leroy. Kyle's next in line as far as I'm concerned, even though he is a tough competitor.
Kyle's good.
So I think Josh will be safe.
Something's gonna give. Like, I do think this is the something's gotta give. There's no way they can just have I don't know. I think the security breach is gonna be something big, and I hope so. I hope I'm not just hinging I
think it's Amber M coming out of the shadows and everyone goes,
oh. Yeah. Maybe it's gonna be, I don't know, but I do think it's going to be something big. I hope so. I hope there's some mix up, because otherwise it's just, there's something
all
flat
for
about
nothing. A cliffhanger with
a double, a girl guy double, like something, because
that's what I was thinking too. Which would be great, actually. I hope that's exactly what they do. I hope they make it a double elimination, because both of these girls don't have their skulls either.
Well,
right.
And that's a pretty good matchup, Big T versus Gabby, in that sort of a game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why I don't think it'll be a girls' elimination, because when they walked into the eliminations tonight, they literally said, oh my God, it's so much higher this time, meaning that they made it higher for the guys, I guess, because the dudes thing. And
yes, guys have to get the girls up there and the girls have to do it. Maybe it's some sort of guy, right? Like, you get your partner up there and then the girls do it somehow. I don't know. I just think that means something. We know it means something.
Well, if it's a double, it's Gabby versus Big T, and they both don't have a gold skull, but we also know that how many girls' skulls are left? Is there 2 or just 1 left? It's either 1 or 2 that are left. So they could easily just throw Gabby against Big T right after the boys and maybe another elimination. That could be cool. They both
that'd be really cool.
And there's available girl skulls left.
Whoa. What about this? Okay. Oh, CT needs a gold skull, so that doesn't work. I was going to say, what if they take Gabby and Nani and pair them with Corey and Nam in a double elimination? Whatever team wins stays, because those 4 all need gold skulls, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
I love it, but I think we are working too hard at something that's probably not going to have the same payoff.
I hope
probably not going to be as creative as we're thinking.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on the episode? The only thing I wrote down was Lolo, you gotta go. That's what I wrote for that.
Yeah. Oh, good one, Dan.
How about Nam saying that I love you? Wait, no, I like you. You didn't know how to say it about Lolo.
Yeah.
Lolo, that was great.
Well, that was really great. And when she left, he was like, yeah, everyone was probably like,
I'm sure he's pumped. But then again, if he gets stuck with Amber M, I'm not sure he will be. But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
I do kind of wish we saw Lolo Jones in a final.
Yeah, me too. What a waste.
That's disappointing that we didn't get to. I have a question. So let's say it is Devin versus CT in this elimination. Is it that obvious you're rooting for? Not rooting for. Is it that obviously you're predicting CT will win this? Who do you think would win this elimination if it was CT versus Devin?
I'm picking CT as well. Jenna?
Well, the only reason I asked that was because it is a little bit of an equalizer, right?
That's what I
It's
mean.
not a hall brawl.
The
Not
producers, Jenna, I said it earlier, the producers knew exactly what they were doing. They're like, we can't put Devin against CT in a headbanger because it's not gonna be good TV. So we'll give them something that they can both maybe do. Totally. Yeah.
This is fair, like the most fair thing they could have, because it's a lot of strategy, and it's one of those things that if you get your rhythm right away, like we saw Cam do, you're in it. If you don't, even if you're CT, like if you never quite catch it, you can buff it up, even if you're strong. And if you do or don't, I think CT just probably would win, but it would be anyone's game. I mean, it's not. I agree, yes, Jenna. It is an equalizer. It's not like a headbanger or a puzzle.
I mean, CT's heavier. I think that he's just going to fly further. You have to remember, you have to get really high for some of those pieces. Devin's a little on the lighter side. He's not the strongest guy. I'm not sure how strong his legs are to really be pushing himself off those things. I know CT's a little overweight, but I still think that he's just a powerhouse. I think he's going to be flying through the air like insane.
Yeah.
Like a it's a rope with a massive rock on the end. It's going to get far. So
yeah,
I don't want to go so far as saying Devin will win, but I think he very much could. Like, not even just, oh, it's an equalizer. This is a good one. Good for you, Devin. I think that he definitely has a pretty fair shot at this.
I'm fine with that. I would love to see Devin win, because then he would have taken out West, Bananas, and CT. I mean, Devin's a great competitor if he does that, but I don't see it happening.
Two, like he needs his head to get bigger.
Yeah, CT is more inclined to win, but yes, if this is a fair elimination for the two of them, it's not like Amber, M, and anyone in the hall. I mean, it's fair. It will be fair. But again, you guys really think that's just it? It's just gonna go, oh, security breach, and then we're gonna move on with the elimination?
Yep.
I don't think that means anything disruptive for the elimination.
I think the smartest thing would be a double elimination, or the easiest thing, like the most safe prediction.
I'm gonna pray that you're right, but I have a big feeling it's just some girl coming out to be partners with Nam or Corey. That's all I think is gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's a security breach. I don't think it's gonna be anything, Pam. I'm sorry, but I hope it's a double elimination. I hope all these things.
Really?
Sorry, and hey, no spoilers. I have no idea.
Okay,
I have no idea, but that's what I think.
I tend to be with you.
You know what else I realized tonight was how cool the crater is. I never noticed how scenic it is, because it truly does feel like a crater. The surrounding and how it goes down into the hole. It's really cool.
They dubbed it properly, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it took me to this episode to realize how awesome this elimination field is.
I mean, I think we're looking at probably 15 episodes this season, so we still got 4 more. That's not bad. Another month.
Rolling.
Hey, ladies, I'm going to move over to news and gossip here. And, we don't have to be sad that there's only 4 more episodes of The Challenge, season 36, because there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. Jenna, you might have heard a lot of this stuff. Paramount Plus is coming out on like March 4th. Have you guys seen it? I do a lot of advertisements during the Super Bowl and whatnot. It's just going to be like a Disney Plus, a Hulu, a Netflix, whatever.
Oh.
And they're releasing a ton of challenge, real world, road rules related stuff. So let's get right into it. The original Real World New York premiered in 1992.
Woo!
They're doing a reunion show. They're bringing back the original cast for Paramount Plus, and it's going to premiere on March 4th, and they're calling it Real World Homecoming, and they're bringing back the original cast. I have to get we have to get Paramount Plus just to watch that, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. And do we know how that is? It its own streaming thing, or is it part of something?
Well, I think you'd have to pay a monthly membership to Paramount Plus, and then you just get to watch all the episodes right in a row. I assume they all come out.
That's wonderful.
That is really cool.
So that's exciting.
That is good news.
Apparently Road Rules is coming back as well on Paramount Plus. They're making a new season of Road Rules. I don't know anything more than that. And my final
most importantly,
the Challenge All Stars. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So Mark, the OG, his show is going to be called The Challenge All Stars, and it has it's no set date yet for when it's coming out, but it will be on Paramount Plus as well. So
and it's real.
There's a
like, do they have a production date? Do they have
teaser trailer for you, Pam? If you go online, you can find it.
Okay.
And can I tell you some cast members that they show in the teaser? They only show the names though, Jenna, right? They don't show their pictures.
Please.
They just show their names on a beat up helmet. That's all it is.
Oh, nice. Like their old helmet. Okay.
They show Mark. They show the name Cyrus, who we all know, of course. Trishelle, Ruthie,
yeah, of course.
Ruthie, Big Easy, and Beth.
Big Easy and Beth stood out to me a lot because wasn't Beth a little bit older already on the challenges? So now that it's been 15 extra years added on to that, I was like, Beth.
And Jenna, she's never been that great of a competitor, but she was always a little like stronger than the other girls, so she could muscle people. I remember, but
I remember hating Beth in the duel just because everybody did for no reason, though, right?
I mean, she was like an original Karen. I feel like Beth's kind of the original Karen. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of the names I read, ladies, who are you excited to see?
Big Easy.
Cyrus.
So excited for Big Easy, and I am very intrigued about Beth.
I think I'm most excited to see what Trishelle is up to.
She was on though recently. She was on like in the last 5 seasons. I saw her or something. I think
because I loved her season of The Real World Las Vegas. She was crazy hilarious to just in general. She was a hot mess, and I loved that season. Had Alton on it, had Frank on it, had a bunch of great characters. I love that season. So
wasn't that Johnny Bananas season then?
No,
Frank, he was
in Florida.
He was Key West.
Yeah, with Paula Walnuts.
You're right. Yes, I missed a lot of The Real Worlds.
But Mark, too,
I'm excited.
I feel like Mark is still jacked out of his mind. I think he's got a real chance to destroy everybody on that list. So, but that's something there's going to be a ton of other competitors.
And Derek.
Yeah. Okay.
Derek.
The only names they gave me were the ones I saw there. I assume maybe Derek's on it. I have no idea.
Okay.
I really hope Derek is on there. Because that can't be the whole cast list unless it's like a 3-episode series. How does that?
It's going to be a lot more people, I think. But you know what? Tell us in the comments below who else is on that season, because I bet people know, and we'd like our comments.
Yeah, we love our comments.
Yeah. Ladies, any other thoughts of the episode 11, an inconvenient goof?
No, this was fun. I'm really excited to see what happens next week because they haven't done this to us this season. They haven't left an elimination and left us hanging.
I thought they did one time, but maybe not. But either way, I missed the storyline tonight. I was a little upset. I wanted them to finish the storyline, but I think the next episode is going to be jam-packed with hopefully this elimination and then into another elimination, maybe. Who knows? I would love to get some extra eliminations too in one episode.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited too.
All right. Well, if that's it, ladies, last chance to say something. Any more hot takes? Last chance.
All right. No, thanks.
Can't think of anything.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. The Challenge After Show. We're here every week. Join us next week for episode 12. I do not know the name yet, and I will not be looking it up until after I watch it. All right. For Jenna and Pam, I'm Dan. We'll see you later. Bye.